Jetzt sind wir soweit. Ich habe jetzt hier Tim Brays anzukündigen. Nochmal, Tim ist Director of Web Services, of Web Technologies, Entschuldigung, bei Sun Microsystem. Tim Brays, ein alter Begleiter oder ein langjähriger Begleiter des Web. Er war mit beteiligt an der Spezifikation von XML 1.0, aber beim W3C lange Zeit beschäftigt und mittlerweile bei Sun Microsystems. Er beschäftigt sich gerade auch mit dem Thema der Integration anderer Sprachen in die Java-Plattform und ich bin sehr, sehr froh, Tim hier begrüßen zu dürfen. Tim.
So first I will take your picture. So please smile. Thank you. If it's good, it will be on my blog. It's a long time since I've been to Munich, but it's good to be here, and thank you very much for coming. So we had a small change of plan when Sebastian invited me to come and speak here. I said, well, it has to be on Tuesday, the 7th, because the original plan was to announce the open sourcing of Java license and first release today. But unfortunately, the Americans, I'm Canadian, so I can talk about Americans. Unfortunately, the Americans decided to have a big election today. And so we thought that the news about Java would vanish in the news about the slaughtering of the Republican Party, and that this would not be the desired result. But so my plan was to talk about the release and talk about the details of Java open sourcing. And since that was postponed, but not very long, since that was postponed, I think you will get a much more interesting presentation because I will talk about Java technologies instead of Java licensing. And whereas licensing is very important, it is also, in my experience, rather boring. What I'm going to do is, rather than focus on one thing, do a bit of a survey talk, talking about what I think are 4 or 5 issues that are very, very important to the world of Java right now. And I will talk about open source a little bit. Most of it, there are a few things I can say now that I think are worth saying. There's a little bit of a unifying theme, but not very much. This is mostly just a collection of topics that I think are important for the Java community right now. So, let's dive right in and start by talking about the open source story. So, this is real. This will really happen. This will really happen this month. And it will be real open source. It will not be Sun-flavored open source. It will not be special open source with limitations. It will not be, there will be no special limitations at all. It will be real open source. Anybody in this room can go and get the Java sources, can build the Java sources, can change the Java sources. You can publish the changed version of what you make. You can give it to the world. You can sell it to the world. You can do whatever you want, with certain limitations. But there are no limitations on the code, okay? And that means not only can you, but big companies, Oracle, or IBM, or BDA, could take the source code of Java and produce an alternate Java. So, the danger, of course, is forking. With any open source project, there is the potential of forking and having 2 projects where there used to be one. This will happen. There will be Java forks. Absolutely. And this is good, because this is where the innovation comes from. Somebody says, well, if I change this, what will happen? Maybe they want to make the Java startup time quicker. Maybe they want to change the semantics of string. I hope not, but maybe they want to do that. So, how do you know, as a user of Java, how do you know what's safe? And at this point, what we call the Java brand becomes very important. The Java brand is 2 things. It's the word Java, with a little TM after, and the picture of the coffee cup. And we are releasing the source code, we are open sourcing the source code, but Sun remains control of the name, of the brand. So if you make your own Java, you take the source code, you recompile, maybe you change something. If you want to call it Java, you have to prove that it's really Java. You have to pass all the system tests. It's called the TCK, the big test suite. It's a huge job. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks just to do this. And if you are a commercial organization, then some will want some money from you for doing this and for using the trademark. If you are an open source project or a university, probably you can get a scholarship. But the bottom line is this. I am quite sure that a few years from now, there will be multiple pieces of software out there that are built from the Java code. But if they have the Java name, and if they show the Java coffee cup, then you can be sure that they are real, compatible Java in the same way that Java is compatible today. But I think life will get a little more interesting. Because up till now, the development of Java has been very steady, very serious, very controlled. Well, if any student can go get Java and produce a better version, well, I think this will put pressure on us and on the other people who participate in the JCP to move faster, to be more dynamic, to be more agile. So I think that this will be interesting. So for ordinary Java developers, will the open source have much impact? I don't think so. We don't know. It's hard to predict the future. I don't think it will be very different. There is one effect that I am hoping for. Up until now, in the world of Linux and the open source desktop, the people who guide and control the open source desktop are very religious about open source. And so up till now, they really would not consider Java. And as a result, all of GNOME and KDE and all of the Linux desktop is built in C++. And Java is better. It's really a bad idea to build a large, complicated interface in C++. So I think that if we are lucky, the open sourcing of Java will have a beneficial effect on the open source desktop, and with any luck, it will make the development of Java go a little faster, but the promise of compatibility will not be broken, and the promise will be tied to the Java name.